No, no cost.
The only one I know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the shelves, isn't it? No, it's not.
Watch it. Excuse me.
Okay. You're excused.
Watch it. Oof. Go Callow. Go Callow.
I have no boost, so I can't go anywhere.
There it is.
Oh, yes. You just see me go, oh, you got this. Nice. That's nice.
Thank you.
See, all those assists were just prepping you. I'm back.
All right.
Just getting you in the goal-scoring mood. Ooh. Was almost dangerous, Edson.
That's fine. It's fine. It was decently calculated. Oh, watch that. Actually.
That's not even close. That is, though.
There we go.
Baby.
Meep.
That.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright. Meep, meep. Oh, no. Go, 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 go. There we go.
I'm not really sure what happened with my turn there, but that was kind of a weird rotation. Nice, Edson, nice.
Who assisted?
So clearly, our problem has been that we've been playing non-ranked, and we should have been playing ranked.
I didn't directly touch the ball. I pushed them off of it, though.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, you know what? That's called enforcing, right? I'm back.
Alright.
Yikes.
Well, that helped.
And I helped.
They got a guy who's just being a jerk.
Oh, gosh. What a surprise.
Nice.
I was just there in case it didn't go in.
Is that your hat
So you getting a hat trick in a match.
Nice. Grats.
Boing. Of course I gotta put the one where I have the hat trick.
Gallo was coming up for that one. Or was that me?
I was.
I have to try and make sure people think I'm good when I know I'm not.
Hey, Edson.
Yes.
Not?
That wasn't me. I was bumped by an opponent, not you.
Are you back again?
A real clockwork soldier.
Generation Orange in 5, 4,
You having problems over there?
2, 1.
Alright, they got the match on finally. That's good.
Well, that was weird.
You're watching Down in the Valley Gaming / Generation Orange. Generation Orange, a Houston internet soccer show and and podcast, sorry. Butchered it already. This is a special 1-hour edition due to YouTube down yesterday.
Yep.
And as you can see behind us, we've got the U.S. versus Canada women's national team match on for World Cup qualifying.
Which was interrupted, sadly.
I don't know about interrupted. I think FS1 was already airing that baseball game. I think they had rights to that baseball game, so that's why they were showing that. So that baseball game just ended, so they're showing it on FS1 now. Anyways, before YouTube down took place yesterday, and we literally had to supersede our show because we couldn't get YouTube to work, and it wasn't going to work for like 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever it was. But due to that, we are doing tonight's special 1-hour edition, and we're going to open tonight's edition. We have a Rocket League club for the Dynamo Discord. If you are watching this video and you play Rocket League, or you have a PC that is capable of playing Rocket League and you would like to play Rocket League and join our team, feel free to hop in the Dynamo Discord and we'll get you the info to get you added to the club and playing games with us. We play pretty frequently, actually, at this point. Some weeks a little less than others, but right now there's an event going on, a Halloween event, where you play online matches, you get tokens, and you spend tokens on crates, basically, or other assorted items that can customize your cars. But we play Rocket League because A, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and as you saw in the clip, Edson likes to pull clips of himself scoring and nobody else. His exact words off air, so you guys didn't get to hear it, but he wanted to make sure that he showed himself looking good because he knows that he's not really that good.
No, trust me, they heard it because I opened the mic on purpose.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, good. Glad you guys got to
So they were able to hear it from my voice.
Absolutely. But yeah, so we're live right now. Like I said, you can see the U.S. Women's Net. Well, actually, it's a commercial right now, so I guess it's halftime for the U.S. Women's National Team match, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you, baseball.
Yeah, weird timing, to say the least. So, yeah, Rocket League and FIFA. When it comes to Rocket League, what are some things that you've figured out recently that someone new to Rocket League may not know?
Well, one of the things has got to be matchmaking, and that is that if you're barely learning how to play Rocket League, is try to avoid pairing yourself up with a party.
Unless you like playing in games matches where you're going to lose like 7-0. I mean, on the other flip side of that, though, that's actually a good way to learn because you see the right way to play because you're playing better quality opponents. When you're playing scrubs like that video showed, and to be honest, they were scrubs, which is why you scored a hat trick on them in like 2 minutes. But when you're playing scrubs, you see kind of crappy play, and it's hard to
lack of communication.
Yeah, it's lack of communication. It plays a role in it, but it also is hard to take that and go, man, I need to play like that. It's more like that's what you shouldn't do. And so you, me, Caloist, and Andres joins us occasionally. Travis will join us occasionally. We play pretty frequently, and when we started, we were crap. Andres and Travis had been playing for probably 2 years before we started. And they are like, seriously could probably start their own pro team and actually compete at a relatively decent level. We are still, like, for all intents and purposes, just barely above scrub level, but we are learning because we're playing with these guys, and also because we're just playing together. We're getting better at kind of that unspoken communication. You'll see it a lot now, especially if you watch our live streams where, especially Callow and myself, because Edson likes to play permanent offense. Callow or myself will just swap back and forth on who's covering the goal as goalkeeper, defensive, whatever you want to call it. But and it works well. I mean, we don't even have to necessarily communicate that one of us is staying back. We just know based on where each other are, who's staying back, who's going forward.
Yes, tactically, like you guys already have an understanding of, okay, if I go up, you have to come back.
Well, we have an understanding that Edson is going to go up, so it has to be Callow or myself staying back, and we just know based on positionally where everybody is, who's going to be the one to stay back and who's not. Now, normally we still will say I'm back or I'm going up, just so that the other one kind of knows. We know Edson's not usually going to stay back.
And if I do say I'm back, it's only valid for 5 seconds.
It's valid for the kickoff and only the kickoff, and we've learned that. So now you'll see me circle back around as soon as that ball is kicked or hit. I'm immediately going back to goal because I know that as soon as you're out of goal, pretty much right away. But much to all of our credit, we've been playing better. We're not like I said, we're not pros by any stretch of the imagination. We've had bad matches, but we've had some really good matches too. And I think we're getting better in terms of making better plays. The one thing I think we probably need to work on at this point is how to set each other up better. I think there's a lot of opportunities where we have an open goal and one of us is trying to shoot instead of trying to pass it across the face of goal so that whoever's staying back can just run up and knock it.
And another one of the things is also that whenever we play 3v3, there are occasions where somebody is up on the wings and tries to cross the ball in, and there's nobody there because the second midfielder is too far behind.
Yeah, and so that's another thing about Rocket League, I think, too. And you'll notice I don't follow the ball as much anymore. I used to, initially, I would follow where the ball was. Now, I try to, like, especially when you or Callow are up on either side, I try to go central because I know y'all are trying to get the ball into the middle as much as possible. And so I've gotten some pretty cheap goals that way, to be totally honest, but that's exactly what you have to do at this point. I mean, especially as these other teams are better defending and things like that, you have to have somebody in front of goal that's playing that, playing that Morrow or that Pena role, to just tap it in, as the case may be, and you're trying to pull out defend anyways. There's a lot of tacticality that goes into playing Rocket League. I never would have expected it.
Yeah, and don't expect to play the same way when you play 2v2 and when you play 3v3. It's
2v2, you're constantly changing. There's no I'm back, I'm forward. It's more you are trying to really, honestly, it's as much as possible. You're trying to keep the ball on their side of the arena, so that it stays away from your goal, and then just take any opportunity you can to knock it in. And sometimes they're going to come at you hard, both players, and the best thing you can do is just hit the ball on their side and then have one person go and tap it in, because they're going to be pulling so hard at you that it frees somebody up to score a goal. It's a fun game. It's fun to what the hell is on TV? I don't even understand what that is. I must have been showing some sort of medical thing. I don't know.
Political stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was confused. It's Abbott. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's an absolute blast to play, especially when you're playing with people you know. Because, man, we joke around hard all the time.
And I'm usually the brunt of the jokes.
Edson is the absolute butt of every joke. Not every joke, but most every joke. That was a very timid video clip, actually, for us riding.
Not yesterday was bad. Yesterday was bad.
Well, but if you're going to whiff on the ball 13 times in a row, I'm not going to let you get away with it.
To be fair, yesterday was one of the crappiest games.
I didn't say it was a crappy. It was one of your crappier ones. I just said if you're going to miss the ball 13 times in a row, expect me to ride you hard about it. That's all.
What's funny though is that you don't ride on Callow as much.
That's not true. I do. You just don't see it because it's usually in 2v2 that I ride him a little harder.
Okay.
Man, I should have worded that totally differently. So I hope you're watching. Hey, what's up, Harry? So Harry says Enriquez is the new fan favorite in San Antonio. How soon till he wears the silver and black?
Never.
Never. That is the answer. All right, so we're going back to video gaming. So we've talked Rocket League. We got a whole 8 minutes into the show talking Rocket League. No, we're going to keep talking Rocket League. I want to go 15 minutes Rocket League, 15 minutes. Actually, no, I do have something I want to talk about. So Saturday, I don't know morning or evening yet. I will get that info so we can tweet it out. I am taking part in an Extra Life live stream of a Pathfinder group that's an online tabletop role-playing group that I play with every other week, and we're doing a live stream for Extra Life. So we'll tweet out the link later when I have it to the Twitch stream, because it's going to be streamed on Twitch, which means I'm going to be out here playing Saturday morning. By the way, I don't know if it's Saturday morning or Saturday evening.
It'll have to be in the morning, because in the evening I'm not.
I know you won't be here. No, if it's evening, I'm just going to be out here. I can do it myself. I don't need you out here to do that. I could even do it from my room. It's not a big deal. I just prefer to be out here if I'm going to do it. But yeah, so the reason I'm talking about this mentioning this on the show is because I want to get people watching this. Extra Life is a really awesome charity, basically, that happens once a year over a couple week span, basically beginning of November, end of October. Shut up, Gabe. And the money that they make out of this, there are people that take in donations and they set up their own teams and stuff like that. And there are some that do 24-hour marathons for Extra Life. I know like Travis does it, but he does it for Child's Play, which is similar to Extra Life. I think Wilson does something similar. But for Extra Life unites thousands of players around the world in a 24-hour fundraising and gaming marathon, and it supports Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So the money earned goes towards that. And there's some big name gamers that join and play in on this. And you'll also see like teams will be created by like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. They'll compete to see who can make the most money, who can have the most players actively playing at a time. You'll see video games like Fortnite will get involved. You'll have, Rocket League will probably be doing something for Extra Life, I'm sure. And they're partnered with Twitch. They're partnered with Reddit, Humble Bundle, Wizards of the Coast, and Rooster Teeth. I'm sure you guys, if you're a video gamer, you know exactly who all those things are. So I don't need to go into details on that. But I don't personally have a donate link for this, but I'm going to get the donate link from our DM, and I'm going to post that on our Gen Orange, or actually on the Valley account as well. So if you do me a favor, if you could donate even $5, it helps. Every little bit, like I said, it goes towards the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And it's just an opportunity for us to give back however we can. And hey, we're nerds, we're geeks. Why not? Let's do what we do best. Let's have fun. So you guys will get to see me doing that. I don't know if you'll see me. I don't know if I'll video, depending on if it's morning. Oh, hell no, I'm not videoing. If it's evening, I might video. We'll see. But because, I mean, I've got the setup here to do it pretty easy. But yeah, it'll be on Twitch. It's not going to be on Down in the Valley Gaming's Twitch. It's going to be on some other gaming Twitch channel. But I'll get you that info later. So that's my extra life plug. So I guess we can talk FIFA. So Josh had a question about FIFA.
Yes.
Josh has been playing FIFA, and to be fair, you and I have been playing FIFA 19 against the AI computer, and we have learned a few things. Number one, the AI is horribly overpowered to the point of being unfair.
Yes.
To the point of being, how the hell did that get through QA? Quality assurance. Like, there's no way that should have made it through testing, play testing or otherwise. And look, I've adjusted tactics. I've adjusted, player positioning. I've tried everything I can try, and nothing works against the AI at full power. It just doesn't. You can't beat the base beat AI unless you tweak settings.
Yes.
And you found, I'm sure you Googled and all that good stuff to find some stuff, and we're reading up on FIFA, and you found a couple of tweaks to the sliders for the gameplay settings that actually do help. So Josh thought it might be good if we shared that out for those that are watching that might, hashtag FIFA 19 might need some assistance in not getting their asses kicked by AI.
So Josh was telling me he plays in world class. We play in legendary.
Yeah.
But the problem is constant.
Well, the AI problem is that the AI is still going to be just as good no matter what level you play at, unless you go like really low. It's like semi-pro or pro.
I think they're saying like when you play professional level, it's extremely easy, but when you make the jump to world class, it's like.
Yeah, it jumped. And I think some of that, I mean, that's based on even looking at those sliders and the differences. It's just a couple of points difference, but that makes a huge difference when it comes to AI.
So my biggest complaint on FIFA 19, and I've mentioned to you many times, is the fact that even a lowly team, a 3-star team or 2-star team, can tiki-taka like Barcelona in its best.
Yeah.
And it's completely ridiculous because it's not something where like the AI will pass the ball, hold it, and then pass it. No, it's pass.
And you know what's crazy?
And it's extremely accurate.
Harry, to be honest, a lot of people are semi-pro. I mean, he and I play on Legendary because we just practice playing at it. And
we've played for many years.
Good enough to play at it. Oh, yeah, I've played since FIFA 13. I've been playing since like FIFA 13.
I've been playing since 9.
I haven't been playing that long. That's, wow.
And I think my first FIFA was FIFA 6.
Yeah, no, I definitely know. I was not playing back in FIFA 6. That's for sure. Actually, no, I was playing FIFA 11 because I remember I got the silver. They had a tin that you could get and I want to say it was for the Xbox 360. They had the tin you can get.
Yeah.
And it had Messi's picture on the front of it, and it was. I remember that I picked up the Ultimate Edition or whatever it was at the time. But anyways, I digress. Good catch. All right, good. Cool. Yeah, I'm working. Okay, so. So FIFA, so sliders. What are the settings that they need to set in order to fix FIFA's AI if they're struggling? Now, if you're playing world class or legendary and you're not struggling against the AI, first of all, why the hell are you not playing online and kicking people's asses? Second of all, how? I want to know. What are you doing different?
Yeah.
Third, hit me up because you need to join our pro club. On that note, go ahead and give the slider information.
Okay, so basically, obviously with any settings that you find online, it's not going to be something that everybody's going to like because everybody's got their completely different taste.
Yeah, everybody's got their preference. Some people
like
like to get their butts kicked. I mean,
So personally, I found these sliders and they worked well. I might need to tweak down on some settings because there were some instances where I was OP. So, I just need to make some changes to make it a little bit better.
To clarify, these are the settings you set it at, and if you're still dominating matches like 5 or more than to 1, consistently.
Or like you can beat, you're Tigres and you beat Barcelona like 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, keep it fair. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I get some people want to tweak it so that they're going to score every goal and just constantly own the opposition no matter who they play with, but That's not the way you play FIFA if you want to get good. That's the way you play FIFA if you're just a sore loser in your mom's basement.
Back position in the midfield, better coverage on the sidelines, better decision making, better clinical or less clinical shooting, and the physicality in the midfield is going to be a lot higher. And I did see all of that. So this is what you need to do. Sprint speed, set yourself to 44 and set the AI to 45.
Oh, so that lowers sprint speed.
Yes.
Interesting.
So you lower sprint speed.
You know why? Because I noticed that that makes sense because I did notice that my players, especially ones I was using, were going well past the ball. Mm-hmm. I would notice that, especially if I was playing AI, like they were not staying level. You know, they would they were always running past the ball. They weren't going to the ball. They were running past the ball.
Yeah, so he says here, the importance here is to find the most physical interactions. He said the discrepancy is created so that the CPU does not give up when chasing the user down. By default, there is a bit of an advantage for the CPU, but the user also has an advantage in being able to run off the rails with super cancel, shifting from side to side and knocking the ball ahead. The animation's smooth out here as well, which is always welcomed in FIFA. And then acceleration, you keep it at 50-50. Shot error 53-53, and this actually changed because it used to be 60.
Yeah.
So they brought it down. I probably saw the same thing. So this is the latest. So 53-53 for both for shot error. Pass error is 55-55 for both you and AI. And then shot speed 49-49.
That makes sense.
He says something felt off with the way the keeper interacted with the ball. They would dive underneath the flight of the ball when struck. So a medium height shot and the keeper dives underneath it. In addition, the save animations were limiting with the high shot speed as you rarely see one-handed saves. The main animation would be the two arms outstretched that you rarely see in real life. Now with it at 49, goodness, what amazing save animations. The keeper reacts to so much better. There's a true sense of getting solid contact on the ball. And when you score those worldies, it feels extremely rewarded. Pass speed stays at 50-50. Injury frequency 65-65. Injury severity 10-10.
Wow. Okay.
GK ability 50-50. Marking 50-50. Run frequency 25-25.
Wow, that's a difference. Okay.
He says we dropped this down from 45 from the last one to 25 to help with the runs off the ball. It's not only for that though, as we did try it at varying variables, including 50 plus, but it also affects the fullback running relative to the fullback positioning value, which is below.
Yeah.
In hopes of not messing up a good thing, sightlines, fullbacks not getting too tucked consistently, I've opted to leave this value at the happy medium of 25. And then it says, usually they would have it at 1-1, but the gameplay would become tiki-taka. Since the marking value is too sensitive to compensate, it's better to leave it at 25.
That makes sense, yeah.
Height, 50-50. Length, 45-45. Because he says, okay, this is too many variables that could happen. There are enough rabbit holes or files to go down, and this one needs to be respected as is. In terms to lowering length to 45, is that it provides a solid midfield look where the CDM still gets in front of the attacker and cuts off those passes to them. With the adjustment to width below, the midfield is more packed and passing the ball forward has more risk and reward as it should be.
Gotcha.
With 48-48. And then fullback positioning 48-48. He says it's not necessarily because they were going too far up the pitch. It's more so that when they were on the attacks, we're then getting them stuck in transition to mark a forward or midfielder, resulting in being tucked in too much, as essentially transitioning as a CDM who has to make up for their side of the field right away.
Yeah.
And then first touch control, 50-50. And that's pretty much it. I will be posting the link up on down in the valley.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in trying them out. I have not tried this beta but the previous beta 2 actually was good, and I think these changes are going to be much closer to what I expected to be an actual balanced game.
Gameplay. Yeah. I feel like because they came out with that new ultimate skill level for AI.
So you know what's funny though? I feel like looking for it and I haven't found it.
It's not. I don't remember where you. It may only be. I don't remember exactly where it is. Somewhere though. Hey Alex. What was I gonna say?
Something about ultimate difficulty.
No, I was. We finished that just now.
Sliders.
Oh no, Pro Club's next. So yeah, Pro Clubs. Edson's gonna get an Xbox One. He says. We'll see how that works out. He's gonna get an Xbox One so we can actually play Pro Clubs online, both of us at the same time. Which means you also have to get Xbox Live, by the way, Edson. But we've got Joe plays on Xbox Live, and we've added a couple more people the last few days. If you play Pro Clubs on the Xbox One, hit me up because we would love to get you added to our club. We want to have a club of at least 5 to 10 people that play regularly. Regularly being like once or twice a week. 4 or 5 matches when possible. We've actually played pretty well. I've learned that Joe is a really good winger and really good midfielder. I play actually a DM pretty solidly.
Yeah, I've seen him play.
Defensively, I'm pretty solid. Offensively, I've had to switch to move up to striker because in Pro Clubs, if you don't have a human striker, you're not going to score many goals.
I can be the striker.
Well, yeah, I know. You never play defense in Rocket League, so why would I assume it'd be any different in FIFA? No, and that's fine. Just get your damn Xbox One and Xbox Live in FIFA so we can get you set up and get you rocking and rolling, because I'm serious, man. Like, we would be a pretty damn good Pro Club with the right striker up top. It's crazy, though. AI in Pro Clubs is actually really good, too. And you can't change sliders there. So the AI defense has been keeping us in a lot of games, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I still track, even as a striker, I'm tracking back on defense regularly because I have to, because crap happens. What else? You and Jacob played some Crew 2
yes.
recently, and you've been playing some GTA 5, even if you haven't been saving it or posting it. I know, because I've seen you playing it on my Xbox.
That was a while back.
It was like a month ago.
Yeah.
If that.
But now I've been playing it on the PC.
On the PC?
Yeah. But
because you're trying to mod it or whatever?
Yeah, well, I added LSPDFR, which is basically
police. Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember.
Oh, no, I remember you watching videos about that. I'd get up for Premier League on Saturday mornings, and I'd hear, you'd come out, you'd make breakfast for yourself while I'm watching the game, and I'd hear out of the corner of my ear LSPDR going on. And I'm like, you're not playing right now, are you? And you're like, no, I'm watching a video. Oh, okay. Like for an hour and a half or 2 hours straight, you'd be watching this damn video.
Yeah.
That's hardcore video gamer right there.
So it's interesting because what I actually want to do as well is that I want to get involved in a police role play community.
Of course you do. Yep.
Either Department of Justice or Orange County role play community, which are founded by my favorite YouTubers, either Jeff Aviano or Polecat324, which is pretty funny, pretty interesting. I was in a role play community once, and it was fun while it lasted, but then, because of financial reasons, they had to shut down the server.
It always happens. Always. It's hard to keep the financial up because people don't donate. They just don't. They just assume that, they're making money from sponsorships. Sponsorships don't pay for anything.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, all right. Well, we've beat the video game horse, I think, into the ground at this point. So we got 35 minutes, and we said we were going to talk Dynamo, and that's really what people are here for. So last night, we were talking, we talked RGV and Dash off season. Mm-hmm. We dove pretty hard and deep into RGV's off season, actually. I thought the discussion was really good about RGV stuff. And I'm looking forward to when you guys talk stuff like that on down in the valley. Tomorrow. Are you going to talk about it tomorrow?
Yes.
All right, cool. So that'll be good because there's some really good stuff, I think, there to talk about. And, there's some points that we keep making related to RGV that I hope RGV fans are actually listening to. But to the Dynamo, so let's recap the season real quick. No playoffs, but one Open Cup, which is fantastic, which means CCL next season. Oh, that's pretty funny and probably accurate because it's Joe West behind the plate, and that's all I need to say about that.
Apparently, they called fan interference on an Altuve hit.
Jesus.
And it wasn't at all.
Hashtag MLB officiating. I thought MLS officiating was bad. It is, but MLB may be trying to actually,
hold my beer kind of moment.
Yeah, exactly. Hold my beer. Oh, it's bad? Oh, hold my beer. Okay, then. But yeah, so Dynamo offseason. So what things need to take place? Number one, I think it's very clear we need to have a slightly better backup for Cabezas in the event that he has an issue next season. I think that has to be priority with 3 pro-level goalkeepers, and there's definitely opportunities to trade one of those goalkeepers for some sort of asset that you can use, maybe an international roster slot, maybe a draft pick, maybe some allocation money, maybe even a player, a veteran defender, perhaps. I don't know. There will be teams looking for pro goalkeepers. So,
I hate interrupting, but I just saw something from Todo Dynamo. It says that Marcelo Palomino has been trying out with a couple of European clubs this past month.
That doesn't mean anything.
I just thought it was.
He could go play over there in the off season.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Just so people can understand the level that Marcelo Palomino at the youth.
That doesn't mean anything. That he says European clubs. That could be. You could be talking about a Finnish team. You could be talking about a Norwich team. You could be talking about a Eredivisie team. I mean, we're not talking about. But that's the thing, right? Yeah. European can mean anything. That could be a Bundesliga 2 team. Nobody's going to care about a Bundesliga 2 team. No, I mean, it could be a bottom-tier France team. Nobody's going to care about a bottom-tier France team. That's the problem, right? Okay, so let's go into this for just a minute. This is non-Dynamo talk. I'm sorry. Edson brought it up. We're going to go there. So the major issue with the U.S.-based system right now is the fact that these kids think that going over to Europe means that they're going to become a big superstar. Look, going over to Europe is a great move if you are that talented to make it on a top-tier team or start for a team that's in the top flight. If you're not good enough to start in the top flight, if you're going to be going over to a team that's not better than an MLS club, then are you really making a good move for your career, or are you just making a lateral move to get out of the U.S.? And at that point, I think it's just a lateral move to get out of the U.S. Palomino's not good enough yet to play for a European club in a top flight league. He's just not. He's got the talent to get there, but it takes development time, and I don't think he's developed enough to get to that point. But that doesn't mean a team may not see him as a possibility for their academy, but he's almost out of the academy at this point, age-wise. And so I still don't think that's the right move for him. So Harry also says Winalda to Vegas. He says it's an interesting hire for someone that was outside the mainstream soccer.
So is he actually going to be there, or is he going to do it through Skype?
No, he's going to do it through Discord chat now. That's what I hear. He's going to use Discord chat, actually. No, I'm just kidding. Look, Eric Winalda's a tool. He's always been a tool. He'll always be a tool. I think he does understand the game better than some people, but I also think he's one of those tools that likes to tell you he knows the game better than you. And he's an arrogant SOB. But then again, most soccer people I know really are, to be totally honest with you. But is it going to be a good move for Vegas? I have no idea, and I don't think anybody really knows. He did good for the Atlanta Silverbacks when he coached them. He could do well for Las Vegas. Does that mean he's going to take them to the promised land of USL Cup? Probably not. But he's going to make it difficult for some other teams to get there, that's for sure. So, I mean, we'll see. That's a wait-and-see kind of move. It could pan out, and it could not pan out, and I'm sure they've paid him a decent...
It can explode in their faces.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure they've paid him a decent amount of money. I'm sure he wants to get into full-time coaching at some point. But the problem is he's still going to be broadcasting, so that's always going to be a hurdle that he's not going to overcome as a part-time broadcaster, part-time coach. If he wants to be a real coach, he's got to go into coaching. Like they say, you can't serve two masters. You got to pick one or the other. So, all right, back to the Dynamo. And Alex brought up a good point. I still think Fuenmayor will make it to the Premier League one day. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yeah, you're dreaming. He's a good center back. He really is. I think he still has a little bit of maturing to do. I think we saw it after his little bout of red card-itis. I think we saw a more mature approach to the matches. I think we saw a more mature approach to challenges and tackles. Yeah. And I definitely think he improved significantly over that time. Now, I think one of the problems, though, is that in a league where physicality usually ends up being a card, it is, very hard for a player who wants to be physical to not be physical. And I think that's why you see a lot more attack in this league, is because of the way that officials call the match now. They tend to favor the attacker more times than not, and so defenders tend to have to play off more, and that just creates more space for attack. And look, it is what it is. Oh, he doesn't have Winalda does not have a broadcast job anymore. That's good. He doesn't belong being a broadcaster, anyways. Okay, so Dynamo. Let's get back to Dynamo. So Fuenmayor. All right, so I did this to you yesterday. I'm going to do it to you again. You are the GM of the Dynamo. You are Matt Jordan. I have granted you general managership of the Dynamo. You have been tasked with forming the team for 2019. You've been given the CCL funds of $300,000 allocation money plus the additional allocation money that would normally be associated with the team, which comes out to be about $1.35 million plus. Actually, really, I think it's like $1.75 million, but I think we traded away some of next year's. So you have that to work with. You've got international players out the ass that you have to account for. Which I think actually at this time we have 7 international players, and then possibly some. Let's say that one of them gets a green card, so maybe we only have 6 right now. So you actually have 2 that you can trade for or transfer in. So 2 internationals you can transfer in, and obviously they need to be realistic. If you go Chicharito, I'm kicking you out of the apartment permanently. I'm literally throwing your trash or your stuff out into the pool across the way. So don't say Chicharito. But, you know, I'm open to options. Liga MX players are not off the table. However, if they come from Tigres, I may punch you. Not because I don't like Tigres, but just because that's not realistic at this point.
Not at all.
Well, I say that. There probably are 1 or 2 players on Tigres that are riding the bench right now that might be players that could be brought in, but they would have to be extreme high transfer fees. But that's what the Dynamo want. As long as they're young players, don't put it off the table. With that being said, okay, so that, and then also you have a draft, and you have the expansion draft. So you have a bunch of things to take care of, Mr. General Manager. You have 5 or 6 center backs on the roster. You probably need to trim a couple of those off. You have 3 outside backs, maybe 4 if Remick comes back. You probably had to deal with that. You have defensive midfielder holes to deal with. You have center mid holes to deal with. You've got winger holes to deal with. Not an issue at striker. I think at this point, I think we're fine. So all that, what you doing? Here's your pile of crap to deal with.
I'm quitting. That's what's going to happen.
All right, cool. It's probably a good choice, actually. No, and so right, you know, and this is what I want fans to understand. This is what I want fans to understand. This is what Matt Jordan deals with. You know, I think a lot of fans don't give him credit for what he has to take year in and year out. At the end of a season and try to figure out. He has, and I didn't even list everything. This is a small portion of the list of things that have to be done at the end of the season. Look, he has spent time scouting, you know, personally going out to various countries and scouting talent from specific teams. You know, he's been making phone calls and trying to you know, to find the talent that he needs to take this team to the next level yet again. And I genuinely believe he's got 2 or 3 or more players that he has targeted that he's hoping to bring in the winter window with that additional money. And you know, that's not going to be that's not that money used is not going to be used on salary or used on the transfer fee. That money is going to be used on the salary. Transfer is going to be handled completely different. And hits the budget completely different. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in all seriousness, what are you doing? You don't get to quit. Sorry, this is Gen Orange. You don't get to quit. It's forever orange, baby. You're in it forever.
Okay.
We'll talk about that here in just a second.
Number 1 thing to do, try to somehow get rid of Leonardo.
Okay, Leonardo. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I would also bring in a Cabezas replacement, like you said.
Not replacement. Correct yourself.
Bench.
There you go. Backup.
A backup for.
I just wanted to make sure we were clarifying here. If you're replacing Cabezas, you can get the hell out of this apartment right now.
I would give. I would also try to trade away either Saren and Arturo Alvarez.
Saren and Arturo's probably done. If he comes back, he's not coming back with a Dynamo. He didn't do anything for the Dynamo, and they know it. They're not going to bring him back. If they bring him back, maybe they send him down to USL for a few matches. He played for RGV.
I wouldn't mind him, at least for the experience.
Boy, I mean, he'd be a good veteran leader on their bench. I don't even think he'd start on that team right now. There's too many good players above him right now.
No.
And he doesn't have any pace left whatsoever. Okay, right. So trading away a goalkeeper. Which goalkeeper are you trading away? I know you didn't say that, but I'm throwing that because you have to trade away a goalkeeper. You're not keeping 3 on the roster. Seitz. Okay, so Chris Seitz is out. I could buy that. All right, so you said you're going to try to trade away Saren. Okay, so you're getting rid of the other defensive mid on the roster who's a true defensive mid. So what are you bringing in? Are you bringing in another D mid?
Yes.
Where are you going to find that D mid?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm not playing softball here. I'm not giving you easy pitches.
I think for D-mid, I think I'd do it in MLS. Mm-hmm. I'd find a current MLS player rather than bringing somebody from
somebody
abroad.
who's really not a starter, because you're not getting a starting D-mid for cheap, and you're not going to get one in this league on a trade at this point.
Now I should put it that way.
I mean, you got to think about it, right? The starting D-mids in this league, teams aren't going to trade them away. They're too valuable in this league right now. Mm-hmm. There's not a team that's got a starting. I mean, name a name for me, a starting D-mid on a team that you want.
Yeah, not gonna.
Yeah, no, and immediately when I start saying that, you go, wait a second. There's no way it's not that we can't, like, we don't have the assets to trade for them.
But it's not.
It's the team themselves, not the Dynamo. The other team is not going to want to part with that player, no matter who you give them. So, and I mean, we're not giving up Elise or Kyoto, so it's not happening. So, I mean, I could see it re-entry draft, maybe the re-entry draft. Is a possibility. There may be one or two older guys there that could be a good backup, but that's going to be an expensive backup. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a guy that's probably going to command at least $250,000 to $350,000 of your salary budget. And I mean, if you're trading away Saren, that was like $170,000, $180,000. So you still have to make up $120,000. So
I mean, if I get the backup for Juan de Cabezas. Mm-hmm. And we can try to ease in more Eric Bird into the roster. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense.
And then you can say, oh, we'll get the backup from, I guess, another backup from MLS.
So you're looking to effectively go to just one DM going forward instead of two DMs on the field at a time, because most of this season was two DMs.
A question mark would be if Eric Alexander would stay or go.
Let's say that he goes this season, off season.
Then if he goes, then I'm not getting rid of Saren.
Okay.
If Alexander stays, I'm getting rid of Saren.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Winger, yes, I think we need some more depth. And we'd have to get it from somewhere else because Chewy's not ready yet for MLS.
No.
Neither is Carlos Small. So they still need to be developed. So we would have to bring in a backup. I think in this case, I might use one of the international slots that we may have left on a winger.
Okay, I can see that. Makes sense. Okay, so your backup D-mid, where'd you get him from? Was he international or was he a re-entry draft guy?
I think re-entry.
Okay. It makes more sense, I think, ultimately. So you got a veteran D-mid to back up Cabezas. You're leaving your center backs. You said you're getting rid of Leonardo.
Yes.
You're keeping all your rest of your center backs. You're believing in what you have right now? Because, again, with the limitations you have spent money to bring in a winger, a backup winger, no less, internationally. So you have one international slot left, but probably not a lot of money to bring somebody in on. So it's going to have to be somebody very young and somebody that is not a proven talent yet. It's going to have to be another kind of similar Fuenmayor type of transfer. Mm-hmm. If you think you can find one of those, that's fine, and he would make a great backup, whomever it may be. But you just have to be aware he's not going to start right away.
I think as long as we have either obviously Fuenmayor, I think he's going to be our starter.
Mm-hmm. So who's your second starter? You've got Machado.
Machado hasn't been great.
You've got Watts. You've got Senderos.
Cindy gets injured too easily.
There you go.
Oof.
So that's the thing. Put yourself in Matt Jordan's shoes. These are the questions. These are the situations he has to figure out. And it's not easy because you have a limited budget to work with. And it's like on Twitter. I see all the time on Twitter. These people have this imaginary unlimited budget that we can just spend all this money and it's not going to hurt. It's not going to be a problem. It's not that our ownership is not willing to spend money. They've actually spent, and I've said it multiple times, they've spent quite a bit of money on transfer fees. It's not that our ownership isn't spending money. It's the structure of MLS that limits what we can do with that money. And, you know, people will say, well, Albert Delise is a DP. You're correct. He's a DP at $750,000. He's one of the cheapest DPs in the league, but he's also one of the best. And Kyoto's not even a DP, but he plays like a DP. So you're going to have to find a center back, and he's not likely to be a DP. He's likely to be, you know, another TAM player, another targeted allocation money player. He's probably going to be, if he's international, he's going to be paid like, you know, from a salary standpoint, like a DP, probably 400 and, or actually probably maybe a little under 400,000. But he's going to make quite a bit of money. It's not going to hit your salary budget the same way because you can still buy that salary down with general allocation money. So, you know, I mean, that's a possibility. You could do that. It's not going to be easy, though, and you have to find the right guy because you're only going to bring in one guy because you don't have the salary budget or the roster space or the international slots to bring in any more than one center back in that way. And consider, if you don't bring back Senderos, if you don't bring back Leonardo, if you don't bring back Machado, that is 3 center backs you were letting go. Sure, 2 of them take up internationals, or actually only 1. No, yeah, 2, because Senderos is still international. Yes. 2 of them take up international slots, but they're not being paid all that much money between the 3 of them. You know, we're talking $600,000 total. That if you bring in only 1 center back with that $600,000, which would be a DP. So if you're bringing in 1 DP center back, you don't have any money left over for a backup. So that means your center back roster is Fuenmayor, new DP,
Connor
Donovan, Watts, and Kevin Garcia. That's your center back group. And you're relying on that group. And if any one of those top 3 get injured, your backups at that point are Kevin Garcia and Connor Donovan. So these are the questions that Matt Jordan has to answer and the things that are extremely important for him to answer. What just happened? What did I miss?
Injury on the goalkeeper.
Probably got stamped on or something. Stomped on. Sorry, stomped on. I'm going to use Weeby's term, stomped on. Somebody probably reached out and touched her leg and she got stomped on. Oh, here you go. Replay. Let's watch the replay. Can you guys see? You guys can see it pretty well.
No, I think she just. Oh, she pulled it.
Ooh, ouch! That hurts. Okay, so anyway, so back to the Dynamo, right? So okay, that's a good question too. What about Max Steves? You've got Morrow. You just brought Pena in. What does that mean for Steves?
Well, he still has to complete his recovery from his hip injury, so he'll probably be sent to RGV.
Probably
for a couple of games.
So RGV now, I want you to consider this for RGV for next season. You're talking about a trio up top.
Carlos Small,
Aldo Quintanilla, if Aldo sticks around, which I think he will, and Max Steves. That's
plus Jordan Jones.
Well, I don't think Jordan stays around. But that's still a scary trio. I think Jordan goes because they know that they've got Max Steves in the back pockets. It's not a big deal for them because they ran all season with 3 true strikers, essentially. Really, half the season with 3 strikers. So they know it's not an issue for them in that regard. The problem is Mac may not get many minutes with the way Carlos Small was playing at the end of the season. So he's gonna have to compete with Carlos Small. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that level of play up that he had going in originally to be good enough to compete with Carlos Small, because Carlos Small is fantastic and was very fantastic at the end of the season.
But I think it also helps with making sure that Carlos Small does not rest on his laurels.
Absolutely, and we talked about that yesterday. Yesterday we talked about how Carlos Small needs that competition going into this offseason to, not just to remind himself, but to keep himself running hard. And I do think Matt could absolutely be that competition. I think that competition would be great for both of them because there's also things that Carlos could teach Mac and vice versa. Because they're both physical players for the most part, but the way that Mac moves Steve's discussion. So we got 14 more minutes. Okay, so all right, so you've done that expansion draft. You have to protect only 11 players, including, and you can protect Memo. You can Memo's already protected.
And Tyler Derrick.
Tyler Derrick's already protected. You have to protect everybody else. So you have 11 players.
Where was my list?
I don't know. You tell me. Where's your list?
It was on Discord.
Was it? You're going to be scrolling for 3 days, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to have to come up with a new list.
All right. By the way, Boston Red Sox are winning 3-1.
Whatever. It's only a 2-run game.
Okay.
I've said that every game they've lost so far, so we'll see if it holds true again.
All right. Obviously, Morrow.
Okay, Morrow.
Elise and Kyoto.
Elise and Kyoto, that's 3.
We'll go with Tomas Martinez.
Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Eric Bird. Didi.
Okay.
Lundqvist.
Okay. You can't protect Lundqvist. You only get a limited number of internationals you can protect.
How many does that sound?
I think it's just 5 internationals you're going to protect. Because it's based on the total number of internationals you have.
Okay.
And since you're getting rid of internationals, like you said.
True. Then...
So this is where Matt Jordan is smarter than you, because he's going to keep those players until the expansion draft is over so that he can keep as many internationals as possible. Just throwing that out there for you.
Are you sure you're not Matt Jordan?
I'm not. Look, I'm close to bald, but I'm not that bald, okay? I have not shaved. I've shaved my head before. I have. You guys have not seen it, but I have shaved my head before. And, dude, the baldness is real. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
All right, so you got 6. You've got 5. Actually, you got five players right now, I think.
I would protect.
So you still got 6. I know you did 1 more, so that's 6.
Yeah.
You got 5 more players you can protect.
Obviously, I would protect. I think my high priority would be Cabezas, Elise, Kyoto.
Okay, Cabezas is 7. You didn't protect Cabezas already, so that's 7. You've got 4 more you can protect. Oh, you did Lundqvist. I will let you do Lundqvist, even though he technically shouldn't be. That's 8. You've got 3 more. No more internationals, though. That's
okay. I would put Andrew Wenger.
Okay, that's 8 or 9, so you have 2 more. And you haven't protected a single goalkeeper yet.
Joe Willis.
Okay, now you protected a goalkeeper. Oh, okay, I say that. Tyler Derrick is automatically protected. Just a reminder there.
But still, Joe Willis.
So that's 9, so you have 2 more you can protect. No, that's 10. You have 1 more you can protect. And I'm going to throw out everybody you haven't protected so you could just cringe at yourself and go, oh, God, why? There's a name I'm actually really surprised you haven't said yet.
Let me guess, Kevin Garcia.
Oh, hell no. But close, right position. So remember, these are any player that is on an MLS contract is available for the expansion draft.
You telling me Connor Donovan?
No, actually, I'm going to change that position because as soon as I said that, I went, wait a second. There's a player that has to be protected right now. Holy crap! You're not going to be able to protect 2 players. Oh man, you're going to kick yourself right now. Oh shit. Oh damn. So Cisco, wait until my list. You're going to kick yourself when you realize there's 2 players you have left off that list that are going to hurt if you leave them unprotected because they will be picked up. I'm waiting. You have 1 player you can protect, and I know of at least 2 that you're going to hate yourself for not protecting. You can look at his list if you need some help. Boniac's not going to get protected.
I said AJD, and I said Fueni. I said Cabezas.
I mean, your list is pretty similar to his list. But you both are still missing 2 players. Actually, you're missing 3 if you want to consider Max Steve's one as well. I mean, just
give him a USL contract and that should work.
I think he's still on an MLS contract. I think he signed a 1+1. Yeah, he signed a 1+1. Oh, okay. They'll do his option, I'm sure. Actually, he might have signed a 2-year contract and then with a 1-year option after that. But either way, you're going to have to protect him. You don't have to protect him. You can leave him unprotected. He's coming off an injury. If if the expansion team is willing to,
I'm trying to figure out who you're.
Do you want to give up?
I think last time I stopped at 10 too.
Okay, so you're at 10. That's a decent 10. So let me tell you the 2 names that you left off your list.
I'm gonna kill him.
Ronaldo Pena and Carlos Small.
Wait, what?
Carlos Small. He's on an MLS contract. He's loaned to USL, remember? He's on an MLS contract. I told you would kick yourself. All right, so my list now, at least.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding
It's
you.
an MLS contract?
It's an
I thought it was a
MLS
USL contract.
It's an MLS contract. It's always been an MLS contract. It's been loaned to RGV. Elise Kyoto Maro, Carlos Small,
I'm talking
Ronaldo
about
Pena, Tomas, what?
I'm talking about that tomorrow.
Yeah, you need to. Juan David Cabezas. So that's like 6 already. Fuenmayor, yes. AJD, yes for me. And then, how many have I said? Elise, Kyoto, Maro, Tomas, Juan David Cabezas, that's 5. Carlos Small, Ronaldo Pena, that's 7. So I've got 4 more. AJD is 8, so that's 3 more. Fuenmayor is 9, so that's 2 more.
I hate expansion drafts.
Connor Donovan is my 10th, and my 11th will be Adolfo Machado.
What?
That's my 11.
So you're sacrificing Wenger for Machado?
I am at this point, yeah. I am. It has not. I have nothing against Wenger at all. I just think Machado as a team leader, from a team leader standpoint in the back line, I think he's important. That's me personally.
Okay, I guess.
I protected Pena and Carlos Small, so you can kiss my ass. You did not.
I had no idea about.
And you know Ronaldo Pena is, if he is unprotected, he is going to the expansion team. He was just called up by the senior Venezuelan national team. So, anyways, and as Cisco says, he's not protecting Steve's. It's hard to protect Steve's with the players that we have right now and with the injury he's coming off. And he says he's not protecting Pena either. That's so hard to do, though, because you just brought this guy in paying roughly $1 million transfer fee from what I understand.
Honestly, I think expansion drafts are ridiculous.
That's because you don't do them in Liga MX. Get out of here. They're normal in American sports, and they've been going on in MLS for years. It's just the way that it works. Although,
doesn't make it right.
I mean, it's going to eventually stop because there will eventually be no more expansion teams. It's just supposed to help level the playing field for the team coming in. Instead of in Mexico, where, if you recall, your teams that get promoted pretty much stand no chance of competing whatsoever. At least in MLS, when a team is added via expansion, you look at LAFC, and they've actually competed this season. Guess what? In Liga MX, if LAFC were to start in Liga MX, they would have been screwed from the first kick. So you can say you don't like it and it doesn't make any sense, but to be fair, that's because Liga MX is not fair. MLS is fair, and they try to, God, I just said those words, and they try to level the playing field for expansion teams to at least make it somewhat, close, so that they can, they each have a chance to be able to Springer home run, so that Springer dinger baby, so that they have a chance to compete, in the first season, because that brings in fans. If you have a team that doesn't compete right out of the gate, it's going to be hard for them to draw fans after the first few matches because the newness wears off. So that was my list for the expansion draft. Good job leaving those players off, by the way. They're going to enjoy their time in whatever what team is the expansion team? Is it Miami?
It's no, it's actually, I believe it's Nashville. And
No, it's only one. It's not both of them. It's only one.
Cincy.
Cincy? Is it Cincy? Oh, it is Cincy this season. Yeah, it's Cincinnati this season.
Because even Austin, I believe, was delayed.
I could see them definitely going after Pena or definitely Carlos Small. They've seen him in USL. I'm just throwing it out there. Man. Was that back to back?
I think so.
Alex, you're going to be waiting a long time for relegation in pro in MLS USL. It will be in USL very soon, actually. I continue to say within 5 to 10 years in USL. He said it was off the top of the Crawford box. It's not quite a home run. But yeah, Harry says FCC, so it's Cincinnati. All right, cool. So Nashville is next year. Nashville is 2020. Clarify for me, Harry.
So is Austin.
Austin is 2020?
I believe it was delayed, yes, to 2020.
So there's 3 teams in 2020 now because Nashville.
Because it's Nashville,
Miami, and Austin. Holy crap. That means we could legitimately have 3 players gone in 2 seasons. Shh. Frickamacker. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not very happy hearing those words. That's going to be a crapshoot if there ever was one. That means a lot of teams are likely to lose players. He says ATX is unknown. I think they push ATX to 2021 most likely.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, because I don't think MLS is stupid enough to go 3 deep in expansion drafts. That's just too hard for teams to handle, no matter who you are in MLS.
So my question to you is, because I don't only have 2 minutes, how much is too much?
How much is too much teams?
Yes.
He says if it goes forward. It will go forward at this point. How much is too much in terms of teams? Man, that's a good question. I'm going to say it depends on USL. And the reason I say that is because if there's no desire from MLS standpoint to merge, they did USL with the top tier. They had, 30-something teams this year? You did the same thing with MLS with no problem. It's not that big a deal for USL. USL doesn't make as much money because it's not as high profile. I think with pro clubs, though, at the pro level, MLS, they could afford to go that many teams because, A, it'll reduce their travel, which is good for the teams. Yeah, you're going to get the bitching and moaning about how it's not going to be fair because the divisions aren't going to be equal between the different teams. And to that, I say neither is NFL, MLB, NBA. Suck it, okay? Or an NHL for that matter, but that's neither here nor there as well. Most leagues don't have every team play every team. NFL, for instance, and they're one of the highest rated leagues in the world in terms of TV viewership and viewership in general. Their teams play their division, play every team in their conference, and then three teams from the other conference, and that's it. Maybe one additional beyond that, but there's like 12 teams they don't play from the other conference at all in the regular season.
So Alex asking if they're going to be changing the format to more of a Premier type format. I don't think
No,
so.
they're not going to change the table because it's an American sports thing. And
Playoffs, baby.
It's about the playoffs. And the playoffs for MLS right now are making a ton of money. They're bringing in a lot of broadcast money. ESPN, Fox Sports, and Univision are not going to let it happen from a broadcast rights management standpoint. Did the U.S. just score a goal?
Yes.
Okay. What is it, 2 or 3-0?
2-0.
Okay.
And I think it was Alex Morgan, yeah.
It looks like it, yeah. It's not going to change simply because it makes too much. The playoffs make too much money, and it's hard to get rid of playoffs when your broadcasters are going, no, that's way too much money for us to get rid of. They don't have VAR. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, are they going to change the format of the playoffs? The answer is yes, they will. I don't know what that change in the playoff format will be, but they're going to change the playoff format. They're going to have to because right now half the teams in the conference make it. Actually, I say that they could keep it the same number, and if they continue to bring in these number of expansion teams, you just don't increase the number with the additional expansion teams. You just leave it the way it is, and it helps even it out a little bit. So, anyways, guys, it is 9:01. We have gone just a little bit over, and we have some soccer to watch and setting up for some Rocket League tonight. Edson and I are going to hop on and play some Rocket League. Actually, no. You know what we're going to do until Calo's ready because he's kind of tied up unless Andres is available. If Andres is available, we'll play some Rocket League. If he's not, we're going to hop on and play some FIFA. One-on-one because, that's just fun.
Yeah.
No
streaming, though.
We'll do that. Yeah, huh?
No streaming for FIFA, though.
Why not? You got the Elgato.
Yeah, but then I have to move everything over there.
Oh, that's true.
We'll just save it for Rocket League.
Yeah, we'll just record that. We'll stream later. We'll stream Rocket League later when Cal is able to get on. So stay tuned for that. We'll tweet out the link when the time comes. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Make sure if you watched us tonight, make sure you like the video, like the stream, share the stream. Although the stream's over, like the video, share the video, subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter at Gen Orange Radio. Follow Down in the Valley on Twitter at Down in the RGV. Follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/Down in the Valley. Yes, I know.
Twitch.com/Down in the Valley Gaming.
Yeah, that one as well.
I should have just shortened it.
You're welcome, Alex. Hey, thank you for joining us, man. You're welcome in the chat anytime you guys want. We do appreciate you guys being interactive. And as you can tell, we definitely love taking your questions and comments and talking about it. These are the kinds of nights that are just fun. Because we don't really have a set format for the show. It's just kind of talk about what we want to talk about. And, we've had so many guests over the last, 8 weeks now, that honestly, we've just needed a couple of weeks to just kind of unwind and just talk Dynamo and get down to the deep dive on it. And I think this is a great opportunity to do that. So next week, expect, again, no guests next week. We will probably pick it up again at the end of October, going into November. As a forewarning, I'm calling it now. We're going to take December off completely unless there's an expansion draft in December. I say that because, one, it's going to be hard for us to get guests on, and two, December is the holidays, and three, I have a project coming up for work that's going to keep me just deadlocked in projects constantly, literally starting tomorrow. So just expect my time to be minimal, which means I'm spreading myself already very thin. Now I'm going to spread myself even more thin. Yay. So just expect December is going to be our off month this year. And we will probably do that going forward for each season. We'll take 1 month out of the off season off, just because it needs to happen. He knows he's exhausted of running this every day, 3 days a week, 4 days a week sometimes. But we will be gaming, so you guys can tune in on that. I'm sure down in the RGV or down in the Valley we'll keep going.
So basically, down in the Valley we'll go once a month, if even.
There you go.
And then the rest of the Thursdays will be streaming games.
And we may do something similar, as we get closer into the actual off season itself, and done with the actual MLS season. For November and January, we may go once a week. But there's a lot still to talk about. I am trying to organize something for January. Edson's not aware of this yet, but I am trying to organize one of those roundtables we've talked about like 30 million times. I'm trying to organize one of those, and I will keep you guys updated. If that does come through, you will definitely want to tune in. I'm trying to actually organize it for Pitch 25 because that's the best format, in my opinion, for a roundtable because we have plenty of space, plenty of room, and we can basically confiscate half of the building for ourselves, which is fantastic. All right, guys, again, thank you for tuning in. We will see you guys next week on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central on youtube.com/Down in the Valley.
Take care.
Forever Orange, Somos Doros, -TF on.